This conference will now be recorded.
Progress.
All right, Town of Cottage Grove, Dane County. Notice of public hearing for the 2024 budget and a special town meeting of the electors to adopt the 2023 town tax levy. Notice is hereby given that on Monday, December 4th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Cottage Grove Town Hall at 4058 Town Road Inn, Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, a public hearing for the proposed 2024 budget for the town of Cottage Grove will be held, and a summary is posted. Anyone wish to talk about our budget or have questions for the public hearing? Anyone online? Kim, is there anyone online for
Jeff
us?
Schlecko is online, I'm sure, for his own.
Okay. We did our budget best we could.
Better than anyone else's.
Yeah. If there's no questions, is there a motion to close the public
moved.
hearing?
Second.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Immediately following the public hearing, a special town meeting and electors shall be called by the town board pursuant to 60.12.1.c of the Wisconsin statute will be held. Determine that the meeting was properly posted,
It was, and it was published as well.
and it was posted in 3 locations.
Yes. Here, Doubledays and Nora's.
Okay, I'll call the special meeting of the electors to order. Item is discuss and consider adoption of the 2023 town tax levy to be paid in 2024 pursuant to 60.10.1.a of the Wisconsin statute. And we are looking at town levy of $1,559,381. Any elector wishing to make a motion?
Yes, we have back there.
A motion.
Motion by Dan Dresden. Is there a second? By Steve Anders. The town tax levy of $1,559,381. That's what your motion was?
Yep.
And all the electors of the town can vote? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Need a motion to adjourn the special meeting of the town elected. Motion by Anders, second by Mike to adjourn.
Whichever one you want to put.
Yes.
Fonger. Okay, Fonger.
Me.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now, Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting immediately following the public hearing of the special meeting of the electors. You can join the meeting by GoToMeeting. And we have a quorum present of the town board, and the meeting was posted at the town hall and on the town website. Call the meeting to order. Stand for the flag pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You have the minutes of our last meeting, November 20th, in your pack.
I would move approval with from Evans. Page 2, item D5, D for dog, number 3. And I will take responsibility for the property because it was my report and I rattled lots of information off really fast. I wouldn't want to be taking notes from me. So I will give these to you in writing. I should have done that after the last meeting. I apologize. It's John Russell is president of the Chamber of Commerce, not the Community Fund, that he is finished his term. And town resident Heath Straka is continuing as president of the Cottage Grove Community Fund. And Carrie Robbins is continuing as vice president of the Community Fund. John Russell is executive director of the Community Fund, and it is an unpaid position. And following that, under committee reports, A is the emergency government.
Oh, yeah.
And then B is Cedar Grove.
Okay.
Second. The corrections.
Motion by Williams, second by DePlay with changes to 5D3, correcting the Cottage Grove Chamber and moving the Cottage Grove Community Fund down, and committee reports in 6A, correcting that to emergency government. Any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills.
I'll move approval of checks number 36713 through 36737 be paid. And we make the EFT payments of $21,515.59.
There's a motion by DePlay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Founder to approve checks 36,713 through 36,737 and the EFT payment of $21,515.59. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have in your packet the unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,363,238.14. And you have the November per diem.
Approval of the per diems as presented.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by DePlay to approve the November per diems as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anything else, Kim? All right, moving on to the next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. No one? All right. Going on then, discuss and consider approval of the 2024 town budget.
So you hopefully read the memo that I included telling you what's changed couple of little adjustments that I made after your last budget meeting. You can disregard the concern about having to pay the down payment for the ESD security system,
Security
because that
system.
can be paid after the first of the year, right, Eric? So we don't have to worry about paying that this year. That'll be ARPA funds anyway, but we had it budgeted for next year and it can stay there.
So you'll have that on the 1-2
Yeah.
agenda for us to write that check,
We'll
approve
include
it.
that check on January 2nd, right?
Okay,
And then I'll bill the village right away. The village wants to be billed for their whole share, not just the down payment, right early in January. So
okay.
we could decide if we wanted to pay the whole thing or just a down payment too, I guess, but, or, you know, but I would think you'd want to wait until they do the work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but we'll have that money ahead of time, so.
Any other questions?
I'm going to approve the budget.
Motion by Duplay, is there a second?
second.
Second by Williams to approve the 2024 town budget as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is bid opening for the town hall roof project. We only had one.
It's the original proposal that you had to begin with.
How many did you solicit?
Well,
Well, we
we put it in the
published it.
paper, we
Published it.
published it in the paper.
Just like we do for road work.
We published it, we posted it on the website, we posted it on Facebook. We did have a few people ask for the RFP, but nothing else was brought in.
Interesting.
So the total investment is $48,500, and that's what we had before.
Yeah, he honored his quote from last year.
20-year manufacturer's membrane warranty, 15-year Great Lakes Roofing Corporation labor warranty.
When will the work be done?
We'll schedule it now and we'll see. It probably won't be early spring now, but it'll be probably mid to late summer probably. I would guess. I know I talked to Molly Roofing, but they never ever got back to us, did they?
Nothing.
Same thing happened with the ESB book. Built roof is talk to Molly, like half hour conversation and no one ever come out to make
Yeah.
a quote.
I see Great Lakes just did the Johnson Health Tech building.
So we only had the one, so that's all we had for the roof project. Next item is to discuss and consider awarding of the bid for the town hall roof project.
Move that we give it to Great Lakes Roofing.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Williams to award the project to Great Lakes Roofing for the $48,500. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item from the Plan Commission, Jeff and
Schlickout.
Schlichtow, petitioner, property owner of parcels 0711-193-8430-0 on Gala Way, proposing to use transferred RDUs to create two residential lots, an RR1 and an RR4, and one NRC lot. We have the minutes from the Plan Commission. There was a motion to recommend approval of the rezone of Lot 1 for 2 acres from FP1 to RR1, and the rezone of Lot 2, which is 4.12 acres from FP1 to RR4 and Lot 3, which is 10.66 acres from FP1 to NRC, or whatever the county recommends, as long as it is deed restricted against residential development. And he has provided RDU purchase agreements. And we also, well, there was discussion at the Plan Commission about the 4.12 acre lot size.
Yeah.
And that they were okay with that basically because of the odd layout of the property. Is that corner lot?
Well,
No, it's
It's
that,
like a piece out of a jigsaw
It
puzzle.
looks like, exactly.
yeah.
I would say. Well, why did they do that? Why is it 4 acres instead of like 2 acres is what? Why not just 2 acre pieces? This one and then this one, and then have this with this.
This is separate parcel. It's different parcel.
Well, this is still part of 3, which is the
Yes.
strangest looking parcel.
It is.
Just weird.
This was for his septic was put there, and it's at the top of the hill.
I didn't walk on this property, but I walked that whole area to try and get a sense for.
Yeah.
Because the little pieces out of it were when they took chunks of that property and added them to the houses on Gala, which is,
Well, it was a pretty strange shape even before all this
Before
happened,
that.
but they did like lengthen the back yards of all those on Gala Way, which just made it narrower at the
Yeah.
south end. But it was an oddball parcel to begin with.
This is Gala Way.
Yeah. Right.
It is strange.
Yeah.
It is really strange.
Yeah.
I assume they have buyers for these lots, and that's why they're wanting to move
we'll
it.
find out.
I think he was building on one and he would sell the other.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
I think he had a buddy lined up for him.
I would have thought he would.
I would
too.
have guessed so. Spending that much money to get an RDU, I would.
That's why they wanted 2
Yeah,
building rights right away.
but it's such an odd shaped parcel that I don't know what else you can do with it.
And I saw that it says that it's going to be, lot 3 is agricultural.
Lot
Correct.
3 is the
Not,
Natural,
NRC
it's like
right, it can't,
conservancy type.
for no development.
no development, right?
Yeah.
You saw the email, did I include the email
Yes.
from
Yep.
McGee that basically said that's what fits, but that agriculture should be allowed there?
Yeah, I would hope so. I think I do. It's strange. But
Well,
So I don't know if I missed it in the motion or if we need to make sure we add to the town board motion why that 4 acre parcel is.
Yeah, there hasn't been one made yet.
Right, but I mean, if you're
We
just
need-
gonna accept the plan commission motion, I think I missed that part in that motion.
Yeah.
So we better make sure it's in the town board one.
And he has the necessary agreements for the purchase of the 2 development rights.
well, this was very interesting reading. There was a lot of attached reading to this. Wow. That's why I read. It's the first time I have read the transfer of development rights agreement. I've
Yeah,
never
we
seen-
haven't had very many of them.
I've never read it.
I mean,
When they're sold, we've had a lot of them where the owner is using it on one property to another of his own, but
yeah,
it's been a long time since we've had one sold, other than Resop, I guess.
Kennedy Road
Yeah.
would have been the last one.
Ah, but I don't remember reading it then. Well, probably the only thing that can be done.
So
Deed restricted.
is there a motion?
I will move the Plan Commission's motion to approve the rezone of Lot 1, 2 acres from FP1 to RR1, the rezone of Lot 2, 4.12 acres from FP1 to RR4, and Lot 3, 10.66 acres from FP1 to NRC, or whatever the county recommends, as long as it's deed restricted against residential development.
And you need to put in something about why we allowed the 4.12
Oh.
acres,
It was allowed because of
the odd
shape and the
configuration of the,
and for septic
Yeah.
utilization.
second. Motion by Williams, second by Duplay. Any discussion on the approval? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item was discuss and consider combining the CPU and design review steps. And you have memos in there from,
I think the last memo from Mark Rothers might be the most relevant.
A lot of email chains in these packets.
yeah,
This does make sense.
What I like, suggestion that I like the most of his is where he says another part of such an in-between approach could be to also amend the town ordinances to require a little more than what is currently often submitted with conditional use applications, but still something short of full design review, so that we make sure that we get the things that you should be looking at that could affect its impact on the neighbors, but not necessarily care about what kind of bushes, what species of bushes they put in or whatever.
Mhm.
But things like lighting and fencing and whatever other things are the most impact, I guess.
I have that
I
paragraph
think, yeah, I
highlighted
think
also,
the lighting is the most important thing.
sometimes. The lighting is most important.
Yeah, that's the part that I think would be the most practical way to approach it.
And I appreciate his willingness to give you a heads up about the costs.
We asked him, yeah.
Yeah. That could be pretty significant.
Yeah.
mhm.
I guess I would recommend that maybe we have Mark do his in-between approach.
Yeah.
And come up with language for us to be incorporated into the ordinance.
Yeah.
Second.
Into the ordinance and into the petition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Motion by
Second.
Andrews, second by Duplay. to adopt the in-between approach and to start working on the ordinance then that we'll need and the change to the form.
Okay.
Any more discussion on motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next time is discuss and consider installing a Knox box for the town garage. And according to our ordinance, we should have one there. And you have, it's just under $500 wherever you buy it. But we should have one because we have MSDS material stored there.
What about, you got one at your place already?
That's where it's
That's what
going.
we're
I
talking
thought you said
about.
the fire station.
No,
Oh.
garage
Why not do the fire? That's okay. Why not do the fire station?
doesn't have
Yes, they do.
MSDS.
MSDS is for cleaners and I mean, there's some, yeah, I mean, there's foam, chemicals, there's some stuff there.
So I suppose if another fire department ended up coming there because you were gone, that's when that would be needed?
They wouldn't have access to our Knox box though.
Oh, true.
Just
Was you
local.
getting one from McFarland or someone?
McFarland talked about giving us their Mavis Knox box, which means that if a Mavis call happens and another department comes, they
They
can
could get
open
in.
it to get into our station for a change of quarters, but I guess I gotta follow up with them to see where that's at. Kinda, they had a lot of problems when they moved into their new building, so probably fell to the wayside a little bit. So we'll check with them.
Chemicals.
So
So
I'm
there's someone
changing
approved
to,
two of these
I
then?
got a big thick binder of
One is on the
MSDS.
agenda.
One for sure for the garage.
Motion to approve the one for the garage at what kind of price we talking? No less than, no more than
487.
500
Yeah.
or 550?
is what I-
Probably some shipping or something, I'm sure.
Yeah,
We could get
550,
it from Aaron's,
not to exceed 550.
free local pickup from Aaron's.
Yeah.
Well, then it'll be less than that.
Second.
Did you say 550?
Yeah,
Yeah, motion by Fonger, second by DePlay to approve not
not to exceed $550.
$550 for Knox box for the town garage.
What do you want to pay for that?
Pardon?
What do you want to take it out of?
Plays per diems.
Get this year.
Well, you can make, as long as you can take it in payment.
This year?
Is the room in the building maintenance
Is there room?
for that, in that building?
I'd have to look. I don't have all the budget.
There probably is.
Your building maintenance,
Yeah.
otherwise undesignated, is that? It's fine. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is consideration of attendees for the DCTA broadband planning meeting on December 6th here in Cottage Grove at 6 PM.
At MPO.
I'm gonna be here just because I think I better to manage the virtual part of it.
Would you consider taping it again?
Good.
Thank you.
Anyone? No interest?
No, conflict.
yeah.
I'll come down and make sure it's open.
I'll be there.
I'll be in Door County, so.
Okay. Next item is choose interviewers and interview dates for office assistant / deputy clerk applications.
We've got quite a few. I posted it on the website, on Facebook. Amber shared it on some Facebook groups that I think were a really good idea. And we also put it out on Indeed. So we've got a lot of applicants, some of them more possible than others. We've weeded out some, but there are some good ones. And it's also going to go out in the tax letter, which hopefully will get out later next week. Or this week. So I don't want to schedule interviews until those people have had time to apply, but I don't want to wait too long either. So.
Are you gonna pre-screen and limit your numbers?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll have to, I don't know how to narrow it down, but where to start, we'll have to talk about that amongst whatever group gets chosen to do the interviews here, but I'll share all the application materials and we can all maybe make a list, I guess, and compare or something. But yeah, I'd like to start with, a handful of the best candidates and go from there.
I'm available if you need me.
I am interested.
I would definitely want Amber involved because this is
Yeah.
like her partner in a job share. So I definitely want her involved and obviously myself and then one or two board members, I suppose, whoever you guys choose.
So if you total of 4 folks, I think that's easily doable.
Yeah.
We're volunteers and what are the dates?
Yeah, what dates are you?
I-
Williams and Duplay.
That's fine. I'm available anytime, really.
So if I almost feel like we're out into the week of the 18th by the time anybody gets any in here, but
Of January,
December.
so December.
The week before Christmas, I guess, is what I was looking at. I don't know what for Amber to be involved, I mean, it's gonna be tough because I don't know how easy it's gonna be for her to come in after hours, but we can't do it during hours because we're the only ones here. Sue will still be here on the 18th and 19th. So I don't know if we could do morning interviews those 2 days and see if Amber could come in extra. I think that her son is maybe in school for some hours, so maybe we could do, I don't know, more of an early morning thing if we could get people here, 8:30 to 10 or something like that, just those 2 days maybe. Or
Either day works for me.
that, I guess, and that way Sue would be here to cover the office and we wouldn't end up with extra. Amber would have some extra hours, but it wouldn't be outside of her normal work time, I guess. I can check and see if that works.
See what you can schedule for those 2 days
I can do.
and what times.
Yeah, I'm
And
open anytime,
Okay.
so it's up to you.
let the two know. Okay. So to play in Williamson will work on the 18th and 19th.
Do you need a motion for that or just?
I'd move for Williams and Duplay to assist Amber and Kim with the applicants.
On the 18th and 19th.
Yeah.
I'll second. Motion by Andrew, second by Hampton for the 18th and 19th for Duplay and Williams to work with Kim and Amber on interviews. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works road right-of-way permits.
Haven't had any since the last meeting. I see we just got one today, but I'll review that for next one. Other than that, it's winter time. So that season started. But nothing else new. We did go up and I guess we did go up to Bristol and check out their brine tank system that they have in their 1 ton, I guess it is. It was interesting. Not as much to it as I thought there was.
Where are they storing their brine?
They go pick it up. So
Okay.
Dane County sells it. It's 35 cents.
35 cents.
35 cents a gallon for that. So and they get a 550, 600 gallon tank, something like that. And they only went through, what was it? Half a tank or whatever per storm.
Half a tank?
So half of that per, but they didn't put them a bunch down, so they were kind of learning last year yet. So we'd have to kind of do the same thing, trial run if we did, you know,
Where was it at?
fish hatchery
Yep.
location. Oh, town of Bristol is the one we
Bristol,
looked at, yeah.
okay.
They just got new last year, so.
You know what the lifetime on that,
On the system,
on the tank and
it's plastic. Everything's plastic on it. Even the, I mean, the
pump
pumps,
seams or anything or?
I mean, you got your, where the pipe connects and stuff,
Yeah.
but those ball joints and everything, or balls, valves, and stuff are all plastic too. So as long as you rinse it every time, it seems like it's gonna last for a long time. I mean, Dane County has trucks that are 12 years old and they still have the same systems on they did when they bought them, so.
And that would be for pre-application before the storm.
Yeah, that'd be 48 hours before.
And then we're talking about on the new truck to maybe equip it with some to pre-wet salt.
Yeah, in 25. So City of Monona and City of City of Monona, City of Madison, and Dane County all do the it's wet application of salt. So like the salt comes out of your truck like normal, and then they spray it with brine also. So it activates salt quicker. So when the salt hits the road, it's already in a liquid form versus a solid that's got to hit snow and create a liquid. So they say it activates the snow quicker to melt. I don't know. Everybody likes it. Everybody uses it. Some cities and counties, that is. We'd be, I think, the first township in the area to use it.
How does the brine system compare in cost to what you're doing now?
We don't do any pre-application now.
so it'd all be extra.
So that if we get the brine tank for the back of a truck to put down before a storm, that would be all precautionary. So like bridges and stuff, I'd see it working. That's what the county mainly does. They do like
Shaded areas.
shaded areas. It just basically what it's supposed to do is not allow the snow to bond to the road. So like when cars drive over it, it doesn't let it pack to it. So then you don't get that
Ice.
hard pack.
But you don't know what kind of cost involved,
3,400 for the system to put in the truck,
and then how much for the brine for,
35 cents a gallon.
How much was
what is the brine? What is it?
It's
Saltwater.
salt water,
That's all it is?
much with another active agent in it to keep like, there's some kind of degreaser thing in
I
it.
thought they used pickle beets or something, didn't they?
Yeah, that's up north.
Is it?
They have beet juice, but they found that's too acidic, so they quit using it.
What does the village spray?
They have brine.
They have brine?
Yeah, I haven't seen them use it yet this year. They were doing it last year, I know.
I think we put it out once.
Did they? I haven't noticed the guys,
You
but
can see the lines on the road.
yeah, yeah.
Put it out before.
You see that, that's what it is. That's the same thing. They're trying to keep the snow from packing to the road. So yeah, we've been looking into that. I don't know if you've noticed this year, we've been doing sand salt mix, trying to use that up, so. I know it's a little messy, but
Okay. Clerk Treasurer's Office.
So we started, I was going to have on this agenda the appointment of election inspectors for the next 2-year term, 24 and 25. Every 2 years, the two parties that had the most votes at the last general election, which is always going to be the two major parties, are able to submit lists of nominations. We did get 1 nomination from the Democrats and 4 from the Republicans. They came at the last minute that they're allowed. And so before I did that, I wanted to make sure that these people really do want to work at the elections. Interestingly enough, 3 of the 4 Republican appointees are not town residents, which is a little bit unfortunate because if you have to use them at every election. And so it displaces town residents that are experienced. I did send out a letter to all of them to have them confirm that they do want to accept the nomination. I haven't gotten any back yet. I did talk to one lady today who was actually been a worker at the village, but because they nominated her to work here, she's willing to work here. So I don't know if she'll probably fill it out and turn it back in. And so anyway, we'll be reporting those at the next meeting. So.
Could she try to work at the village since that's where she
Well,
lives?
I said that, you know, that it was her right to turn down the nomination, but I mean, I can't, you know, if the parties nominate them, I can't really
They know.
say no. So, but the requirement is, like, let's say we had, well, back in November of 22, the major party voted for in our town was Democrat. So if we have 5 workers at an election next year, for example, 3 of them are supposed to be Democrat, 2 are supposed to be Republican. So I don't have enough Democrats. So if the Democrats don't have enough, then I can use unaffiliated workers, which is what all of the rest of them are, to fill those 2 Democratic spots, but I have to have 2 Republicans. So the thing is, that's really supposed to be true, like throughout the duration of the election. So that 1 Democrat is going to have to work from open to close to keep my Democratic representation in there. I'll have more Republicans, but generally I have anywhere from 5 to 9, sometimes 11 workers. So there's going to be times where those 4 Republicans are going to have to work the whole thing too, because I'll have supposedly 5 Democrats, or I could have if I had enough, and 4 Republicans. So they're going to have to work the whole thing, and they're supposed to be available for every election in the 2 years. So that's what I'm, you know, letting them know and having them send back and say that they're willing to accept that commitment. So anyway, we'll have the appointments. We can't turn them down. If we did find some that for some reason someone was not fit to be appointed, I guess we would have to submit that to the Elections Commission and they would make that determination. Otherwise we have to accept them. So it's not, it doesn't make it any easier really. And to me, it's unfortunate because I have so many good workers and I hate to have to tell them that they can't work because I don't need them. I don't need enough workers that I need them to work after I fill it in with these nominees. That's the part that I don't like.
Well, why wouldn't the parties know who we were using in the past and
I don't think
submit those
that's,
names to us?
I mean, they have to get those people to commit to be an affiliated worker. And so maybe they, you know,
Maybe they just don't want to
don't
be.
want to be affiliated.
I would believe that.
I can believe that.
Like the old saying, politics mix strange bedfellows.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be on the next agenda.
Yep, they have to be appointed in December, so
Anything else?
nope.
All right. So after what we've done, you'll get everything into the county then?
Yeah, either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, yep.
So
It's all ready to
Taxville will
go.
go out and.
As soon as they can do
reasonable
them,
time.
yeah.
All right. Board reports and communications. I did meet with Jen last week and
Jim.
Grafton, or the
Oh,
deputy.
Jen, okay.
And overtime was being an issue, so for both her and for Eric, so I gave them a little more leeway in their overtime hours.
Thank you.
Great, that'll make them happy,
Yeah.
or less unhappy, I should say.
Right and happy.
Right. And then I got for the fire station at 4030. That's the fire station. No Knox box present in their inspection. And they were wondering if the alarm equipment serviced and maintained.
So you guys have a fire alarm over there, but it's not monitored.
Right.
And I don't know if that's acceptable or not. I'd have to check the code, but typically you can get away with not having it monitored if there's somebody 24/7, but there isn't somebody there 24/7 because when the ambulance goes out, there's nobody in the building.
And they said there was no inspection tag present.
Well, it hasn't been inspected because it's there, but it's not monitored, so.
So are we gonna buy a Knox box for the fire station? Deja vu?
Our ordinance doesn't say that they would,
I,
they
hey,
have to have one.
maybe, what takes precedence, you know? I don't know if our fire ordinance takes precedence or not.
So isn't a Knox box so the fire department can get in?
Yeah.
So to me.
Sorry, but-
Or a neighboring.
No, he said that
What's
one.
that?
I said to me, putting a Knox box on the fire station doesn't really make sense because it's to let the fire department into the building, which we already have access to the building.
Unless your trucks are in the fire station, but then you'd still be able to be there to unlock it for the other fire department.
The key to the Knox box is in the fire trucks.
So me and
I don't know what I need to do with this.
Who's that from? Who did that one?
Lance-
Inspecting themselves or,
Lance.
Oh,
well, that's
Lance
within your
Severson?
purview there.
Lance Severson?
Yes.
But of course, you know, the Madison Fire Department comes and inspects the church.
They just take
And you
a
don't-
certification.
You don't have your
They
fire
just take a
extinguisher
recertification test today.
up to speed, you're subject to fine.
Maybe a new
You know.
requirement now, maybe or
I
something.
mean, it's. But then our fire department doesn't have to go over the same rules or? I don't know. I'm just asking, you know?
The Knox box is a local ordinance.
No, but I'm talking the alarms or whatever, if they're not, if they're supposed to be inspected once a year, are they, or no?
They have not been, no.
Are they supposed to be?
I'd have to verify in the code, I'd have to look it up.
You think most of that kind of stuff is once a year?
So.
If it's got it installed, I would assume that it's supposed to be
Yeah.
functioning, and it's supposed to dial out, and it's supposed to be inspected, but
Yeah,
so what is the alarm actually hooked up to? The,
Just the interior.
there's just a
alarm.
panel that, it's the fire, I mean, it sets off an alarm, but it doesn't dial out to anybody.
I mean, is this alarm hooked up to your HVAC units? You know, so in case there's I mean, I have commercial buildings where I work that we have, that alarm system is not only for the building, but for the HVAC units themselves also in the event that something goes to heck.
That I'm not sure of. It might be, I'd have to look around the building. It's definitely tied to the smoke detector by the elevator, because that's one of them by code that's supposed to be tied to it, but you know, there's pull stations, and I know in the past, we've had that go off because of a nuisance alarm and there was nobody there. And so I got a call from McFarland's fire chief saying that our fire alarm was going off at our fire station.
how did he know that?
He was here for an event at town
Oh.
hall. And you could hear the water going off over there, the bell going off over there. So he called me and said our fire alarm was going off.
There's something wrong with that system.
Yeah.
I guess that's something you gotta check into there, chief.
Verify if it's supposed to be monitored or not.
You're the best chief in the whole world.
He's
Get it done. Okay.
laying it on thick tonight, I guess.
I'll add, the alarm system was likely installed when the building was built.
Probably was.
Correct.
So be prepared. I wasn't going for that. I was going for if the goal was to have a functioning and operating system, imagine how much the security system costs and triple that probably.
Pass that to the chief.
I already got it.
Here, chief.
You take care of it for him.
I will take care of it.
Thank you.
Because I basically got the same thing for the police department, but I gave that to to Houston's because it's their building and they are having Martin Systems come to check it to make sure that it's operating.
Conversely, if that building doesn't have a Knox box on it, it should.
It does.
They do. There is
It
a
doesn't
box.
have to,
Perfect.
doesn't have to, but it has one.
But that was there for, that's been there quite a long time, is there, isn't it?
Why is our
Yeah.
ordinance so restrictive as to where we put Knox boxes?
It's just so where you have to have them.
No, I'm just saying, it's just,
Was based on having specific items, really,
Right.
that,
just a key to get in. I mean,
yeah.
my facility out there at Ed's got a Knox box. I don't have any chemicals out there. I just got a key in the box to get them inside the building. That's it.
Probably got a Steve block.
We don't know sometimes what's in.
Yeah, right.
So one thing that we've noticed is like the village has been, as their new people are moving or new buildings are coming, they're just telling people, we recommend you put a Knox box on it, whether it's required by ordinance or not, because you don't put one in and something happens, we're gonna get into the building. It's just how much money do you wanna spend fixing it after we get in as opposed to if you
And
put a
we've
box
been
on
doing
it.
that with anybody out on North Star. Telling them to, that they should have one.
That's a great idea,
Mhm.
really.
So why not just require all commercial buildings to have one?
You could do that. I mean, you could change your ordinance to say all commercial buildings have to have one. That's up
All
to
for
you guys.
prevention.
It's
Maybe
not-
that's something else we should consider.
Another ordinance.
There you go.
What was
There's no
that?
government overreach here.
Well, you already have an ordinance. It would just be editing what you've got.
You just have to change it, yeah.
Can I request we discuss this ordinance at our next meeting?
Sure.
If you're clear?
This one?
I don't know how much business we're gonna have first of the year. Usually it's pretty quiet, or I mean,
No, our next
before
meeting's
Christmas,
18th.
just before Christmas, yeah.
Do you want to just talk about it, or do
4.07.
you want a recommendation? Want me to ask anybody for any recommendations in the meantime or anything?
I don't know, I think we can become masters of our own destiny here.
Okay,
Well, I mean, what would you add to it?
All commercial buildings.
That's any non-residential building, right? Where a fire detection or suppression system is monitored by an alarm company or has an external audible alarm.
No, just all commercial buildings regardless of
Regardless.
whether they're externally monitored.
Okay. All
Pretty
right,
easy.
and then do you want to tell them what you sent to me late on Friday?
Yeah,
On the ladder truck?
so we've been talking about future replacement of ladder one. It's a big ticket item. Originally, we were talking about, it's due for replacement in 2028. It's not required. It's a strongly recommended policy to follow by an FPA. It's not adopted by the state, so you don't have to replace it. But usually you say 25 years on the truck because it starts nickel and diming you. Stuff breaks, hydraulics go bad, it's big ticket items start to fail. It's hard to find parts. Like right now, they don't make any of the strobe lights that are on the truck right now. So if a light goes out, very hard to find it. And if you don't, you could upgrade the whole truck, but you're talking big money to redo the lights on a pretty old truck. So what the JFC came up with is 25 years, that's when we're gonna replace all the trucks. So originally, we've been talking with Pearson E1, lead time was 3 years, which means if 2028 was a replacement, it would have to be ordered in 2025. We met with Pierce last week about the new squad, and they're saying now lead times are almost 4 years.
Oh, my.
So that means it would have to be ordered in 2024 to stay on schedule for 2028. They're still allowing you to sign the contract and lock in your price. So my question to Chris Hampton and the village was, do you guys want to pursue getting final prices and a spec, locking in on the agreement? You don't pay till the truck's delivered, but you lock in your price, because what we've seen is the truck has systematically gone up significantly. So when we first priced it just over a year and a half ago, it was 1.7 million. When they gave us a price last year, or in July, it was over 2 million. They had another price increase in November, and there's going to be another price increase in February. So,
Ouch.
And the one in February is usually pretty significant. It's their yearly one, that's 7-8%. So my suggestion, which it's up to you guys because it's your money to manage, would be, if you're interested in pursuing the truck, I would try to get something signed in January before the February price increase comes and adds even more money to it. You lock in your price, and the 4-year lead time would put it here in 2028 like it's supposed to be. So.
Yeah, but didn't we have problems with signing a contract? Which one of our trucks, when they tried telling us we had to pay an extra amount
Yeah.
because of,
Yeah.
And we didn't end up paying it.
No.
Well, that was the tender, and the difference is that that is a commercial chassis. So Kenworth made the chassis, and Kenworth was the one trying to get the price changes. Ladder trucks are completely built by Pierce, so Pierce can lock the prices in and they don't change them. There was one condition they added because it's 4 years now. There's something to do with the bond, and it was like you had to have X amount of increase per year, but he said it's only happened twice in the entire history of the country, and that was the pandemic, and the Great Depression was the only other time it's ever happened. So there's a good chance that when you lock in, it'll be the price you're paying.
So I wasn't able to get it on this agenda for us to take any action. Do you want me to have it on the 18th
Yes. Yes.
agenda for discussion as to if we want them to move forward or not?
Yes.
I see a lot of heads nodding, so
Because then if you were gonna try to sign something in January, you're gonna have it. I don't know how quick you can get your prices, but
So the truck's already spec'd, pretty much. There's a few minor changes we're gonna have to make. They just have to update the price. The book's already been, we priced it out a year ago.
because you're gonna wanna go through the fire commission too, right?
yeah, and they meet on the 19th and we meet on the 18th.
Yeah.
On both agendas.
unless you just throw it on for the first meeting in January.
Well,
So
I'm just
since
thinking
this-
about when you're gonna actually get a quote to review.
Yes.
What point do you have to get to before you actually ask for that quote? You know,
Can't you ask for it before?
I can ask for a quote right now. I mean, I'm meeting with him again Thursday about the squad, so we could tell him to refresh it, and I could get you guys an updated
Might
price.
as well.
Why not? Yeah.
And I sent the same email to the village, and Matt Geezy said that Cameron and Matt Geezy are gonna meet with their financial planner to decide if they can afford it, basically, or decide what their plan is. So he said he replied all to that email and said that they would have an answer within a month for us. So.
if you got a quote, then will that be good for like 30 days or something like that? How do they?
I'm guessing it'll be good till the next increase, which is February 1st.
Okay.
usually.
So you could get the quote and then we got time to get it through all the different channels that the fire commission.
Theoretically, we look at it in the next meeting and vote on it the first meeting in January.
Right.
And then that gives the commission a time to have seen it in between too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
So we can do that
Yes.
on the 18th then. Okay. All right, that's what we'll do. Committee reports.
We paid the bills.
Natrig, landfill committee meeting, paid the bills.
Everything still looks good.
Yeah,
Good.
Emergency government. Not on there. I got some things to talk about. You ready for me?
sure.
I went over to emergency government, Dane County, and now their office is in Fitchburg. And they took over a fire station over there and in Fitchburg, and beautifully remodeled. It's big and they got all kind of equipment. I noticed I asked them about the ambulance they had in there, and you can borrow that ambulance.
Mhm.
I never realized that they had one just sitting there.
Is that the bariatric, Rick?
Effectively a bariatric ambulance.
Oh, it is?
The ambulance you saw in Fitchburg is the old one. The new one actually has been in Deerfield for the past week.
Looks like it's in really good shape, you know. Yeah.
It is, but it's 10
Old.
years old
Yeah.
or more, and been rode hard and put up wet, so it looks good, but
Yeah. Well, we are gonna have a tabletop exercise starting at 5 o'clock on Tuesday next week. And all I would like to see from everybody, just be aware that we're having this in case we get to a point we need to check our emergency call list and stuff. And same with you guys, basically. Just the fact that we're having it, that's all. And you could get a call, you are sort of somebody that would be going out to check, roads that have, trees down and all that kind of stuff, and probably damage to property and whatever with your people. So just be aware we're having this, and there's no reason for anybody to be there. It's gonna last about an hour and a half. There's 4 different areas, and it's all gonna take place down in our office down there. And Kim, same with you, if we discussed at length the fact that probably, monetary reimbursement is gonna have to go through you anyway. So, if we ever get in that situation, obviously you're gonna be involved. And of course, then it comes down to if we ever get into a situation where there is a tornado or one of the events that we worked on earlier a year ago, and that oh geez, what was I gonna mention there? Threw me off a little bit, but how we would set up to have enough people to run 24 hours a day. So obviously that would probably take some board members and a few other people in the town besides, and that's something we can work on later. But so we're going to work on about 4 different areas, and Jay is going to send you, I'm going to be gone for 3 days, a little synopsis of our meeting.
Okay.
And he said in the next 2 days. So
Is that supposed to go in your packets then?
you can either, well, if you could just email, can you do that to the 4?
Yeah.
And it looks like it'll be fairly simple, but it'll really check the things that we need to check. So, and anybody that's interested can be around if you want. It's up to you. So, are there any questions on what we're going to do? He's going to be there, and he will be giving us the questions and how we're going to function, and see if our information that we put on our SOP is good, which I think it is.
Yeah.
So, but you can always improve.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
I'm unclear where this is taking place.
In our emergency.
Oh, right next
Yeah.
door. Okay, thank you.
And I told him we may want to take some time, at least our committee, to go over there and maybe have a meeting over there and go through the building and everything. It's really, they put a lot of money in that place, let me tell you. Looks like it's a brand new building, and it's a very old station. They put in an elevator in and to the basement, then they got 2 kitchens and just, it's about 2/3 done right now.
So you're thinking we're going to all get that tour?
Yeah, I would think so, but I'll let you know.
Good.
Maybe later on, first, maybe March or so, somewhere next year, early next year.
Okay. And the Kite Grove Fire Commission.
With the alarms or the security system next door.
That's in?
No, we approved.
Oh,
No.
To move ahead.
And I don't think there was much else though, was there?
No.
did you say they're gonna move their head? Oh, no, you said move, oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed.
Relocated.
Relocate one.
It must be with the alarm somewhere. No, I'm just kidding.
It's in an odd spot.
No. Okay.
One in every group.
Yeah, well.
I'd have some fun.
Okay. All right. There's nothing else on that. We'll move ahead and consider adopt a motion to move into closed session for Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent E for deliberation, negotiation, or conducting specific public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session. Proposed revisions to the Deer Grove EMS agreement.
I would like to have our chief as part of this closed session.
I agree.
That's fine. First, we need to go into closed session.
I would second the motion as long as the chief's included in the closed session.
Oof. Wish he's vicious.
Motion by Duplass, second by Williams. It's a roll call vote. Fonger,
Aye.
Anders.
Aye.
Hampton, aye.
Aye.
Williams. And Duplass, aye. So
You are
we're
invited to stay.
into closed session and Eric is invited to stay. Thank you. And I had given you that agreement 2 weeks ago for you to review. Are we in?
Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
There isn't any,
You did good, chief.
Yeah, I didn't put a motion on action after it.
there's no action on this.
Just to adjourn.
No, I'm moving here.
Second.
So what
Oh,
happens then?
okay.
Do we just,
Huh?
do we just sign the?
Well, you aren't
No,
quite done
no.
with it, right?
We'll take it back to EMS commission and say that the town board is okay with.
Got to finalize the
Document.
document,
Okay,
you'll get the
and then-
finalized draft document, and you'll
Got it.
approve it, then
Nope.
it'll turn into
Yeah.
the
I'm good with that.
final approved document.
Good work.
So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Clay, second by Williams for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
If anyone would